You wanna know what keeps me awake at night? YouTube. I'm addicted and Google now owns my soul. My biology teacher, she dissected a cat. It was pregnant before it was put down, and she showed us these fist-sized bulbs where the kids were supposed to be. And finally, the worst of the worst. It is the reason I wake up with a cold sweat in the middle of the night, interrupting my dream where I lived a happy life with my girlfriend. I do have a girlfriend, it's just she goes to another school. It consumes me with a kind of dread that would make Ohio blush and make my sleep paralysis demon turn good. What I'm referring to are my old Kengan takes. My takes as of recently have been okay, somewhat correct but far from perfect. However, when I first started, I unleashed unspeakable horrors onto this universe. Some of my opinions were as delusional as believing that the earth is flat, or that purchasing NFTs is a good investment. Some of these takes are so incorrect and biased that, for better or for worse, I'm surprised that people have chosen to follow me. Since I have gotten more experienced and reasonable with time, I'll be looking at some Kengan takes that now bring me shame. First one I'll be talking about is my opinions on Alan Wu versus Carlos Medel. I have two of them, and they're both pretty dogshit. Alan uses this thing called Guhun, which amplifies his physical abilities, right? Despite using Guhun, Reian Kuri is able to react to his movements, and was able to land his techniques before Alan could, while in base. On the other hand, Carlos is able to throw strikes faster than Gowlan's flash, and avoid direct blows from his combination between Muay Thai and boxing. Given that Gowlan is one of the fastest strikers in the Kengan Association, and that Reian isn't too far behind, not even taking pre-initiative into account, Carlos is much faster than Alan. So, why did I say that Alan could blitz Carlos? In this matchup, Alan Wu can tank Carlos's boxing. Returning back to the boxing triangle, Alan Wu resembles a slugger who isn't afraid to take hits while launching some of his own. Therefore, Carlos's swarmer strategy will not be effective, so Carlos should rely on his real style. Although the surprise attributed to Capoeira would be very effective, Anus Wu still has his Guhun, enabling him to blitz Carlos. Therefore, speed beats surprise, Carlos Medel loses. Honestly, your guess is as good as mine. I'm not even gonna try to explain the layers of delusion here, but the triangle theory takes the cake because it has never been relevant in Kengan.
But wait! There's more!
Carlos is a very fast striker whose elusiveness makes him hard to defeat. Alan will be able to tank Carlos's kicks and jabs fairly easily considering the sheer durability of the Kuris. Although Carlos has the superior speed, he'll be caught eventually. Alan Wu would also utilize his Guhun to become even faster than before. Alan Wu wins. Although I understand that Carlos's attack potency has a lot to be desired, he does not need to be as strong as Reian to defeat Alan. What does a Chihuahua and Carlos have in common? They're both ankle biters. Carlos has the skill to precisely target his opponent's joints, which, according to Kuroki Gensei, are more susceptible to being broken. Despite possessing a smaller than average build, which, according to Karishi Mitsuyu, places limits on one's own power, such a weakness can be made up for by precisely striking trigger points where maximal impact can be delivered with minimum force. Considering that Ajito believes that Medel's true terror stems from the fact that he does not have the frame of heavyweight, and that excess weight would serve to dampen his power, indicating how most of his power is derived from his tremendous skill as a striker, along with the fact that he is a genius of striking. Carlos must be abusing trigger points because his power isn't coming from his frame nor his weight, but rather his skill and precision. Therefore, considering that Alan cannot so much as lay a finger on Carlos due to his speed and pre-initiative. It will only be a matter of time before Carlos wins by immobilizing Alan by targeting his joints and abusing trigger points to break his ankles. Next up are my opinions on Lu Tian, specifically against Sekibahase Jun and Urazuka Saw Paing. Formless aside, Guhun gives Lu power on par with Julius Reinhold. Here is an accurate representation of what Julius was doing to Wakatsuki Takeshi. Wakatsuki is a genetic anomaly gifted with power that exceeds human limits. Not even the Kuri clan, a group of people who practice selective breeding and are born with a resilience that exceeds human limits, can come close to him when it comes to muscle. Therefore, those who have acquired resilience through rigorous training and who may be on par with the Kuri clan, like Sekibahase, do not compare to the likes of Wakatsuki. Since Lu has access to Julius-like power, and that Julius was capable of abusing Wakatsuki like how Roland abuses his wife, Sekibahase should not be capable of taking blows from Lu. So why did I say that he could? Sekibahase is a tank who is capable of redirecting his opponent's power with his body. Although this alone doesn't account for Lu Tian's loss, it is the formless style in general that is at fault. The whole reason surprise attacks are successful is because the techniques attributed to them are capable of tearing through all manner of defense. But the surprise attributed to the formless is all about the individual movements rather than incredibly deadly techniques. Therefore, it is no good against the wall represented by Sekibahase. Even if Lu Tian did use Guhun, Sekibahase can tank it. After all, he did tank Truoma's advance, only to simply get back up after he was done. The only explanation here is favoritism. The likes of Kyuzan Takeru gave him a certifiable ass whooping. What's Sekibahase doing when Lu enters Demon Time? Jose's medical bill is going to look cheap by comparison. But that's not even the end of it. Considering what I have said about Lu Tian's previous matches, Urazuka Saw Paing is his ultimate enemy. Not only is he fast enough to exploit Lu Tian's time lag, he's also incredibly durable. These two factors sink Lu Tian's chances of winning into the dirt, where it belongs. Lu's formless techniques are superior to Kano Ajito's formless techniques. Gaolan is fast enough to exploit the weakness of Ajito's formless techniques. After 2 years of improvement, Gaolan became fast enough to overcome Carlos's pre-initiative with nothing but the speed and precision of his strikes. Nevertheless, because Lu's formless techniques are superior to Ajito's, it is unclear whether or not Gaolan could overcome his techniques in the same fashion, or whether Lu's techniques would be effective against Gaolan because he got faster. Meanwhile, despite re-strengthening his striking foundation over the course of 2 years, and fighting in the Kengan matches for 2 more, Saw Paing failed to overcome Cosmo's pre-initiative with nothing but the speed of his strikes, only doing so by taking a risk that exceeded his expectations. Given that Cosmo and Carlos are in a similar ballpark when it comes to pre-initiative, with Cosmo being the less experienced of the two, Saw Paing, even mentioning his improvements in Kengan Omega, is not as fast as Gaolan, and as a result, does not possess the speed to overcome Ajito's formless, much less Lu's superior formless techniques. Yeah, but you know what? If my favorite character ain't winning, Sandrovich is writing his story wrong. On some real shit, if Saw Paing has 500 fans, I'm one of them. If Saw Paing has 5 fans, I'm one of them. If Saw Paing has 1 fan, that one is me. If Saw Paing has 0 fans, I'm no longer alive. If the world is against Saw Paing, I am against the world, bitch. I'm just kidding, my favorite character is Gaolan. At last, I will discuss the one below all. Do you know what's worse than saying that Alan blitzes Carlos? What's worse than saying Sekabahashi and Saw Paing can defeat Liu Tian? What's worse than any of the opinions that I have shared on this channel? Well, need look no further than my entire video about Arashiyama Jurota. I hate everything about it. There exists no signs of intelligent life. The astronomical levels of wanking on display put the collective degeneracy that men are capable of during Destroy Dick December to shame. The delusion is on par with MHA sippers believing that the gravity chick wants to bang the frog. She's clearly into the grape juice guy. Jurota's nemesis isn't Hayami Masaki. Jurota's greatest nemesis is himself. Although the purgatory environment forces Jurota to regulate the power of his throes due to the no-death rule, his choice to follow the gentle path, along with his gentle character, will always prevent him from fully exerting his full potential. But despite his own self-imposed limits, Jurota is still stronger than Hayami, with Hayami stating as much. But considering how Jurota failed to put Hayami down due to a combination of Hayami's insane resilience and his reluctance to kill, he cannot exert enough power to defeat other characters like Wakatsuki, Toei, Julius, and Rain, who all possess insane resilience and even outclass Hayami in other physical attributes. I wonder what I said in the video. But wait, where's Rain? He wasn't in the video, to be honest, and this is a tough pill for me to swallow. I did not bother to mention him because I believed that Jurota would defeat him, which is hysterical. If Hayami has the skill, the resilience, and the speed to defeat Jurota, what's going to happen when he fights Rain, who is more skilled, much faster, much stronger, more devious, and possesses insane resilience too? Markiplier is getting stomped harder than Mark Myers against Rahito. But hey, at least this 1000 IQ take was left unspoken. Yet even if I did say it, I would still manage to outdo myself. Oma's aces, namely Demon's Bane and the Advance, wouldn't be effective at all against an opponent like Jurota, who doesn't have powerful blows and would use Oma's strikes as an opportunity to throw him. In an upright battle, the only thing saving Oma from dying is indestructible, which doesn't last forever. The only thing Oma should really focus on is grappling Jurota to the ground. However, Jurota could slip out of Oma's submission holds with his redirection and return the fight back to a vertical plane. Arashiyama Jurota wins. I was in the Kengan subreddit Discord once, and I was told something along the lines of, "You're unfit to talk about Kengan." Considering what we have seen thus far, and that I'm certain that I'm going to make another video like this, because this is only the tip of the iceberg, whoever said that is correct. It is the best piece of criticism I've ever been given. It's a shame I failed to take it to heart. Thank you for watching. Although we're on the internet where we don't have to be kind to each other, I'm thankful that none of you have lit my ass on fire just yet. My gratitude aside, since first starting with my analysis of Yumigahama, I thought it would be a neat idea to rank all 13 Purgatory Gladiators of Team Purgatory after I'd gone through and made a video on all of them. Even though other YouTubers have made videos of the sort when it was relevant to do so, I failed to do that because of all the dirty laundry that needed to be aired out before I felt worthy enough to make that kind of content. So now that I have aired out some of the laundry, I guess a proper ranking video is in order. But anyways, this has been the cyborg whale named after Italian cheese and a dessert item. Goodbye.